As soon as he puts his foot on home plate, I want him to fucking spontaneously combust. Just explode.
Hey guys, back with episode 9 of Taking Back Sports with Mike and Max. They kicked us outside and inside. We have to go outside now.
Because it's too crowded in there.
It's too crowded in there.
There's too many people at Charlie Meany's. What a scene going on in there now.
It's a madhouse. They're riding because the Rangers are down 2-1. But
3-1.
3-1?
Yeah.
3-1 now.
Yeah, they're 3-1. They got to win three in a row.
Oh, yeah.
They can't score. That's the problem. I mean, I don't know that much about hockey. But
yeah, I don't know anything about hockey. So I'm going to
trouble.
make up whatever I tell you. They're playing terrible. I'm going to go with that terrible.
I saw the game last night. I watched it, and again, from guys who playoff hockey is really good. But last night's game, Washington blocked a ton of shots in front of the net, and they blocked a bunch of shots the night before. I think someone said they blocked 50 shots, and that makes for boring hockey. Sometimes it seems like in these games, luck is such a factor. I mean, in the game they lost 1-0, the goal that went off of Lundqvist, a whole season boils down to like, this one it went off a guy's shoulder and went into the net, and that happens a lot. It seems now. I wish it was a little more free flowing.
I'm not a big hockey guy either. As a matter of fact, I'm not a hockey guy at all. But
because you can't fucking bet on it. In general.
You can.
You can,
but it's not a good game.
It's
to bet
not
on.
a good
It's not a good game.
But here's the
Not at
thing. You can't tell a hockey guy this because they get pissed.
Yeah, hockey
They get
guys get
pissed
no.
about
And
a
they're
lot
angry.
of things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of luck that goes into that game. There just is. I don't care what you just said, a deflection or this.
It seems like it.
Sometimes you watch the game and one team is dominating and the other
Right.
team's up 2-0.
Yeah, I guess, but I have this thing of like, when people make fun of, I love baseball passionately,
Right.
and you know how I feel about that sport, and I can understand why people would find it boring. So when someone says to me, soccer sucks, how could you watch soccer, it's boring, I'm like, well, 1 billion people can't be wrong. And I feel the same thing about hockey. It's like, well, they're not wrong. It's just,
not my shit,
I like Budweiser, you like,
I'm not saying
James,
it's not
whatever.
it's not good. I'm saying that I think I heard on the radio somebody say that like the last team it's been years since the last favored team going into the playoffs won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
So the
And
team
that-
that won the President's Cup, which is the Rangers,
Right.
won the
Right.
I think
Right.
the
And
last time was '94.
I kind of
That's because I
think
just listened
because
to
there's a
Right.
lot of
weird facts.
it's a bounce of the puck.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not good, whatever you're into, but I kind of think that there
Right.
is a lot of luck
There's
involved.
a deflection here or there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, there's so much to talk about tonight, and then you're like, but we can go down this road for a while, because it does, you say to yourself, well, why even invest in the regular season? And the NBA is kind of like that too. Like, why are you investing
You
in the
look at San
regular season
Antonio,
at all anymore?
they don't give a damn about this
Nah,
regular season.
right.
They rest
Yeah.
their superstars when they're playing like big
Right.
games, and
Yeah.
then they play hard the last month of the season, and they don't care where they finish
Right.
in the regular season because it's
Right.
all about the playoffs for them.
You like this? You got a birdhouse
We got a
back
birdhouse
here.
now.
It's Charlie Meany.
Very
Good.
nice.
Yeah, it's nice
Yeah.
back here,
It
right?
is nice.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
definitely
gonna
nice.
pull something up. You got a little thing.
Yeah,
We went off for a few weeks, I guess.
we're in hiatus. It was,
well-
it was the heart of baseball
We
season.
basically were watching our kids play baseball. That's
Yeah.
the reason why we were off, which is definitely a worthwhile
And I was
thing.
drinking.
Yes. Well, we were drinking too. We did get a couple of emails. Well, we got a lot of emails actually. My was flooded. My server went down. Whatever the fuck that means. But we did get a few, and I picked out a couple. The first one was this is from Jimmy Three Nuts. I don't know if he's got 3 nuts, but his name's Jimmy Three Nuts.
Will both of you guys if I smoke my cigar over here?
Nope.
No, of course
Light
not.
it up.
You got to get up and get it.
Yeah, I'll be right here.
Okay,
Yeah,
when will you guys be back? I miss your show. I am taking way too much Ambien, and I need your show to put me to sleep. My overdose is on your head. Signed, Jimmy Three Nuts. Thank you.
Jimmy,
Is that a threat or like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
fan letter?
I
I don't know
guess
which
so.
way to look at it.
Fuck them next.
All right. Are you guys dead? Hashtag wishful thinking. And that's signed Mrs. Lebeck.
Which
Now-
one? Which one?
Are you guys dead? Hashtag wishful thinking. We're not. We're here for episode number 9. And that was definitely not written by my mother. So, fuck you, whoever wrote that in, because I know she wouldn't wishfully think us to be dead. Maybe.
How about your wife?
No.
She's
You know,
Mrs.
hey, there you
Lebeck,
go.
too.
It could be it.
That could be it.
All right, this one I thought
Ellen,
was,
you didn't hear me say that.
this one I thought was pretty good for us. I have an idea for your show. Why don't you guys have a Draw the Prophet Muhammad contest? Do this without security. you will strike a blow for free speech and most likely get killed by Muslim terrorists in the process. 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm not doing a draw the Prophet Muhammad contest.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Our neighbors over here are Muslim. We love all people. I'm not doing that. That was signed by Giovanni Liftgate. So we're not going to do that one, but continue to send us the emails. We'll read them. Honestly, in the 4 weeks that we got, I got about 832 emails. So that's pretty good. So the show is very far-reaching.
Mostly hate mail.
Yeah, mostly hate mail, but you know.
Any
still,
publicity is good publicity. That's why we look at it.
So anyway, so Rene gives me, he texts me today. He's like, yeah, I got some topics for the show. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. And I text Rene back and I go, fuck you. You know I'm fucking talking about A-Rod.
And that's the first topic of the show, guys.
Sorry. And I'm going to continue to talk about steroids and continue to talk about A-Rod.
It's good to see him starting off well.
A-Rod, 6 home runs. 6 home runs.
All right, so let me...
And he's turning on 93 mile an hour fastball. 93,
95, 96. So here you're going to tell me, because I'm a fucking asshole, you're going to tell me... You're going to tell me that a 40-year-old guy, I know he's 39, I know he's going to be 40 this year, coming off of hip surgeries after a whole year off is going to be able to hit a baseball 470 feet without the use of steroids.
Yes.
That's what you're going to tell me. A guy who had a therapeutic use exemption because his body doesn't produce testosterone. So basically, you're telling me a man who doesn't produce testosterone in his body can hit a ball 470 feet on 39 years old. I got a theory about Bruce Jenner too, but we'll talk. I think it's funny.
I think everybody's entitled to second or 12th chance.
Well, you call. I tried calling the fan because I'm a fucking ant.
They never pick up your calls. Huh?
No, they don't. No, because they know. They're afraid of me.
Fuck the fan. Francesca, fuck you too.
Yeah, that fat Francesca. They're talking. You get 50 calls about A-Rod, and not one of them will state the obvious. And I'm in my car, and
he
I'm
has
like,
an exemption.
There is. I will give a challenge right now. That I will give you my house, paid for in full, if A-Rod is not on steroids this year. A-Rod is definitely on steroids, and he's on steroids through the therapeutic use exemption. He's got another exemption. He was off last year. He's got an exemption this year.
Does he have an exemption, or would you
don't
guess?
know?
You
and
don't
the reason
know
why you don't know, I work in the schools.
Challenge?
No, you don't know because there's HIPAA rules. HIPAA rules, Health Information Act.
It can't be.
You can't disclose what drugs this guy is taking. So if he's taking it for his well-being because he doesn't produce testosterone, you can't get that information. So obviously he is taking some type of steroid in order to perform this way. Why no one says this? I don't know if it's legal that you can't say. I don't know what's going on. But if he did it in 2007, he's doing it in 2008. He's doing it now. Why is that not something that is being brought to light when a 40-year-old man who has no testosterone can hit a 470 feet?
Because they don't want to know.
I know.
They don't want to know.
I know. But it's bad, man. And again, and I'll leave the steroid thing to this. The problem with the steroid thing is that it's not that they're punishing them. They will punish them. The punishment isn't enough because guys who've done steroids are in clubhouses. You got Mark McGuire in a clubhouse. You got Ramirez in a club. You got all these guys. They still have jobs in Major League Baseball. It's still not the S on their uniform.
In the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Agreed. I do think they're getting punished, and I do think they're getting punished properly by.
No.
Hold on, no. To a degree. I'm not saying they're being
by not getting
punished.
in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Do you think that's
by certain guys? We could say it doesn't matter, but these guys' legacy has definitely been tainted because of the steroid use, which is a punishment. I'm not saying it's enough. No. I'm saying it is a punishment.
Yasmin Grandal hit a home run. Yonder Grandal.
Who the fuck is Yasmin Grandal?
He's a catcher. He was a catcher for San Diego. I think he plays for the Dodgers now, but don't get me wrong. That's why the show sucks, by the way. Because I can't pinpoint exactly who he plays for.
No member of MLB Network.
Is it all that
important?
For
the Dodgers.
He plays for the Dodgers, right?
Producer.
All right. So he hit a home run, game-winning home run the other night. And he was one of the guys caught up in the biogenesis scandal. So as he's trotting around the bases, I thought to myself, what would be a really good idea?
Somebody ran on the field and tackled him.
Every guy who gets caught with steroids or steroid suspicion, for the rest of their career, they got a fucking S right on there.
Scarlet letter.
Right on their thing. Or their name is off their back. It says PED. Every guy. That's a good idea.
We have a statement from the crowd. A
Yes.
question from the crowd.
Yes.
Do you think people that take steroids should be allowed to, like A-Rod, he's passing Mickey Mantle, I believe it was. He just passed
Willie Mays.
Willie Mays.
Willie Mays.
Do you think that he should be recognized in the history record books as passing them?
That
Or-
was
or- or
that was
do
actually
you think-
that was actually the next topic. Way to jump the gun producer.
I'll give
That's
Nah.
the crowd.
Yeah.
I'll give you my answer like this. Here's what I wanted to happen when A-Rod hit that home run. I wanted him to jog around the bases, smile,
He
feel
said he didn't pass it yet. He's tied now.
He's
He
tied.
has it.
Okay, so his next home run when he passed it, I want him to jog around the bases. I want him to tip the hat to the crowd be politely clapping. As soon as he puts his foot on home plate, I want him to fucking spontaneously combust. Just explode. Just A-Rod all over the place. Oh, the steroids finally caught up with him. I think that's his fucking elbow at third base.
I think
better
that's
one
what
would be-
I want.
a better one would be-
I hate him. I want him to die.
I think the better one would be is like he touches home plate, pull 2 needles out of his pocket, and just squeeze them into the air.
Yeah, no,
That'd be better.
I honestly, I'm not kidding when I say this, and I'm saying it on camera, and I'm saying it on film, and I'm saying it for prosperity. I want him to die at 42 years old because of steroids.
I'm afraid you're actually going to kill him.
I hate every single. I love baseball so much. What these guys have done to this game is absolutely disgusting. I'm reading that book, Bloodsport. It's the Levinsons, the agents at the Aces agency. They had a go-between. They were giving their players steroids. It's a whole fucking thing where they're giving these guys steroids.
There's also a problem. The question from the crowd is legit, but here's the problem. We have guys that have been caught doing steroids. Then we have people who have admitted to using steroids. Then we have a lot of people who have questionable whether or not on steroids. Then we just have people that, boy, he's big, so he must be doing steroids. We have all different degrees now of people involved with steroids. And where exactly do you go? Like, they're saying Mike Piazza's not in the Hall of Fame
Because they think he's on.
because they think he's on steroids, and he had a lot of acne on his back.
Well, he also had an injury that was very consistent with steroids. He was also a 62nd round draft pick. He also took the job of somebody who naturally was better than him. I hate Mike Piazza.
Okay,
and for me to say that,
But-
I had my kids dress up as Mike Piazza.
But he's never
as a
been
kid.
caught.
Yeah, but he's guilty.
Well, I believe he's guilty. Is that enough?
You're gonna judge this again. Sorry.
What about Trout and like Stan?
I can't judge them, but I can judge Piazza, and I can. To me, where there's smoke, there's fire with this thing. If there's an old joke that I like, and got 2 guys come along a pile of dog shit, and one guy was like, "What is that?" Picks it up, he fucking smells it. Like, I don't know, I'm not too sure. It smells it. Another guy's like, "Let me see." He takes a bite out of it, and he's like, "Wow, I don't know what this is, but it's not." He's like, "Yeah, it's definitely dog shit. Lucky we didn't step in it." So, if you see it, you know it. And there are guys that and Piazza, unfortunately, because of his injury history, because of his meteoric rise, I'm sorry, but to me, he's guilty of it. Again, Biggio, I would think, but I don't know about Biggio, so that you get a pass. But there are guys you definitely have to say.
But that's what I'm saying. You do have certain... Where does he fit in this steroid scandal as opposed to this guy? Should we leave him out because we think he did it? We're pretty sure.
Fuck the Hall of Fame. I really don't. I think, again, like, I don't care about the Hall of Fame. I care
Let
about
Pete in.
I care about the game. I care about the integrity of the game. I care about the fact that Mark McGwire is a hitting coach on a bench. That, to me, that is disgusting. That Tony La Russa is a Hall of Fame manager when he won 2 World Series with 2 teams that were implicated in steroids and that were laden with steroids. I'm sorry, I got a problem with it. So,
All right, last thought on A-Rod. What's his legacy? He ends up with 720 home runs. What's his legacy?
Well, Mike said fuck the Hall of Fame.
Mike wants to kill him.
But the truth is, his legacy has been insanely tainted. He is, to a degree, paying for his steroid use.
He's the face of steroids.
He's the face of steroids.
Even
a lot of people dislike him.
Even more than Barry Bonds.
Not quite as much as you dislike him, of course, Mike. But there are a lot of people that dislike the guy. A lot of people, and his legacy is incredibly tainted, and he will not go to the Hall of Fame.
Never. Barry Bonds will
but again,
on
that
Ealer.
doesn't matter. Here's what I
Pete
believe.
Rose has been trying to get in the Hall of Fame for 20 years. It's a big deal. Now, all of a sudden, it's not a big deal that A-Rod's not going to go to the Hall of Fame. I think it is a big deal.
There's been a book
He's not
already
going
written
there.
about A-Rod, and again, what the thing that bothers me a lot about the steroid issue also is that guys say, well, he would have been great anyway. No, he wouldn't have been great anyway. Steroids have that much of an effect on your performance.
I agree with that.
Maybe he would have been a solid major league, and maybe he would have been a guy who hit 350 home runs.
Agreed.
But the way steroids affect your performance is just completely, it doubles you. I mean, look at Ryan Braun now. I mean, you just look at numbers.
I know
look
kids
at guys.
the
Look at
same
Chris.
way.
Right, exactly.
So I don't disagree with you, but I'm saying his legacy is unbelievably tainted, and that is a punishment. It may not be what you want, but it is a punishment.
Yeah, he's okay. So what we have
Is an imperfect system.
What we have is a sociopath who, I guess you guys know what a sociopath is. A guy who doesn't care about anyone else's feelings. He's almost like a machine, right? Roger Clemens. And actually, unfortunately, in this world, the most successful people in this life that we're fucking spinning around on this globe are sociopaths because they don't really care about what other people think and they don't really give a shit. So they do what they want to do to further themselves. Alex Rodriguez is a sociopath who happens to play baseball. So, in an age of steroids. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He does not care.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
So, anyway.
I'm just saying, I do think he's paying he is paying a price.
I do agree with that too. Let's move on to Deflategate. How you guys feel about Deflategate? How do you feel about Tom Brady's legacy? I don't give a damn. They won a game 45-7 or 10 or whatever.
You better not agree with that. I'm telling you right now, you better not agree with that.
I do not. First of all, Aaron Rodgers went on record saying I overinflate footballs. They just didn't catch him, and he admitted to it. So the fact is that Tom Brady's underinflating footballs, and he got caught. So what's the big deal?
No, I disagree.
Go ahead, Max. I got something to say about that.
Disagree. Look,
You're gonna take a shit on the floor too? What's going on?
Is that all right? You can't? Look,
I gotta paint again.
Look,
I got a lot to say about that too.
Look.
Go ahead.
the rules are in place. You can't break the rules and then say, well, who gives a shit? It's not a good rule. Nobody cares. No, you broke the fucking rule. Now, first of all, I'm not a Jet fan. I'm a Giant fan, so I don't have anything against the Patriots. As far as I'm concerned, Giants keep beating them in Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't have anything against. Okay,
oh,
so
no, you didn't.
Oh, you did. So I don't really give a shit about. I have nothing against the Patriots, let's say, but you have certain rules, and you have to abide by the rules.
Right.
And obviously, the way it was done, where the officials checked the balls and then they would deflate, they knew that they were getting around the rules. And just because you think that it's not that big a deal,
right?
The rules are there. Abide by the rules. You cheated.
He cheated. He's also got a weave. Obviously, he was going bald. Now he's not going bald. So he's a fake human being in that regard too. He was a 6th round, what was he? A 6th round pick?
6th round.
6th round.
199 overall.
So here's what I thought. And again, you're going to call me paranoid.
If you get a steroid thing with this, I'm going to fucking strangle you. Do not do a fucking steroid thing.
5'2", 40, and he's still running a 5'2".
What else was he? His whole legacy.
And his arm.
What else was he doing? What else does he do? What else? What does he have a chip in his helmet that gives him the plays or gives him the defense? Spygate, deflating balls, 6th round pick. All of a sudden he's this guy. Get the fuck out of here. We're talking about $1 billion business now, and now you got a guy like this. Come on, give me a break.
Well, first of all, the 6th round pick thing out of Michigan was kind of a mistake. The guy I've heard all this stuff. Well, he didn't start at Michigan. Yes, he did, and he was very good there.
All right, I'm getting a little weird with that one.
So the 6th round pick, I think Tom Brady's a hell of a quarterback. And
Aaron Rodgers also went 24th in the draft, and Alex Smith went first.
Yeah, 24th compared to
so we know that's.
Yeah, but that's after
I do agree with you,
precedent.
and I was really hoping that you were going to be a hypocrite and say, well, that doesn't matter when steroid cheating does matter. But you didn't.
No, fuck
so now, because I was really hoping to shove one up your ass, but I couldn't because you weren't the hypocrite. I was really, well, you know what I mean. I was really hoping that you were going to be a hypocrite, but you weren't. He cheated.
Yeah.
And he knowingly cheated, and then he lied about cheating.
Well, he's still
and I'm a Tom Brady fan because I think he's great.
Did you see his reaction to it?
But did you hear the wording of what they said? he's more likely than not. What type of wording is that? It's either he knew or he didn't know. He more likely than not? What type of wording is that?
Here's what you need to know about Tom Brady. I read it in the Daily News today. They had the text messages from the equipment manager and the locker room guy. The locker room guy, did you read these text messages? The locker room guy's like,
a millionaire,
fuck
by
Tom
the way.
Brady, fuck Tom. Next message is fuck Tom. This locker room guy, who's us, basically, because we're fucking peons, is saying, fuck Tom Brady. So that's how Tom Brady treats, to me, that's what I got from it. He treats these guys like shit. And then he's texting them back like, you okay, buddy? You okay, buddy? I fucking hate it when people call me buddy. Fuck you, you're not my buddy. I hate that shit, because when people call you buddy, they want something from you.
Calm down, buddy.
Yeah, hey, buddy. Take it easy, buddy. Fuck you, I'm not your buddy. And he treated them like shit because he wanted something from them. And now, the shit hits the fan, and his response to the report was, it's filled with inaccuracies. No, it's not. It's not filled with any inaccuracies. So he could have easily, because he's such a douchebag, what would Joe Namath do with this? What would fucking Joe Montana do with this? They would have winked and been like, I didn't do anything. And then when the report came out, they'd be like, listen, I don't know what you're talking about. And they would have given a little bit of this to the reporter, and they would have fucking easily got over. Like, come on, man, it's gamesmanship. You could have made this gamesmanship instead of cheating. Instead, by your fucking white boy, white bread, fucking stuck-up response, you made it into something that it didn't need to be.
This just in, A-Rod robbed of his 661st home run jump with a catch over the fence.
Good.
That's because of you.
Karma.
Yeah, you blew it back in.
Right. Did he combust on it when he was going around?
He didn't quite combust.
That would be great.
I agree to an extent, Mike, but I don't agree with it wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, it would. You cheated. And you not only cheated, but you went around, you had the officials check the balls, and then deflated them.
Then you deflated them.
You cheated. You can't get around it. We would have winked. You can wink all you fucking want. The guy cheated.
What do you think about the degree? Again, I don't think any of us really have enough knowledge just to comment on it, but that hasn't stopped us before. What do you think about how much that helped him with the footballs?
I don't think it helped that much.
See, I do. I do.
If it wasn't helping him, why would he do it?
Right.
It's more of a comfortability thing. I played quarterback a lot of years, and I used to like my balls overinflated because they flew a little bit farther. But underinflate the ball,
no, it gives you a better grip. Though.
It does give you a better grip, especially in bad weather. But I don't know if it's making that huge of a difference. But there is a certain amount of pounds that it's supposed to be at, so I guess it has to make some difference.
Can we agree that he cheated and lied?
He cheated and lied, but Belichick cheated and lied on Deflategate.
If he cheated and lied, we're
the
good.
penalty should be? Penalty. What do you think should be? A game suspension, multiple game suspension, draft pick? What do you?
You said that you know. What? Go ahead.
Coming soon.
Hey, you think I'm out of my mind? I would suspend him for a year.
A year.
He'd be done.
Year.
No, he's not going to get suspended for a year.
I didn't say he would. He's suspended at all, probably.
And Robert Kraft would have Goodell fired instantly.
Yeah.
Instantly fired.
I was surprised that
he would turn in all the evidence that he saw the Ray Rice tape. He would hang him. This tree right here. In the Charlie Means backyard, he would hang him in the backyard.
You know what I didn't do, which was bad research for this show, and it is bad research for this show, and we should definitely do a better job of doing that, is I saw the reaction of, obviously, the New York papers, and the reaction of the New York papers was, fuck you, you
front
suck,
page news, by the way.
Page.
New York Post and Daily News.
We really should have looked at the reaction of the
Boston.
papers in Boston and
he's doing an interview. He's doing a speech.
See what
He
they
kind of
say.
didn't have to. You know what the reaction is there.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, you think he's going to get blasted?
There's some objective. You got to be objective.
There's a lot of deniability in Boston. It's a cult type of thing.
Yeah.
Got a cult. All right. So what do you think the penalty should be?
2-game suspension, I think, would be a good.
I think a game and a draft pick and a second-round draft pick.
1 game.
Second round draft
pick, couple dollars too.
Yeah, a couple dollars, $1 million, $2. Who cares?
Robert
Kraft.
I think 2 games.
Robert Kraft is definitely going to pay for it. It's also true.
Goodell has been soft on,
owners.
Yeah, he's been soft on just anyone, So I think.
But he has to.
If he comes down on Tom Brady, he can stick his dick out a little bit and be like, look at me now. So maybe he does come down on Tom
Robert
Brady
Kraft's
pretty
one
hard.
of his biggest backers, and the owners are his
Well, they're
boss.
good
So you don't
friends.
want to have Robert Kraft against you. So that's why I don't think it'll be severe at all.
Yeah.
He knows who
Plus,
writes
the
his check.
NFL, this was not good. The timing was bad. It was the playoffs. So if you'd been caught in Game 3, it wouldn't have been. It was, and now you're going into the Super Bowl. The NFL wanted this fucking thing to go away.
You know, Max, it's funny you say the NFL. The NFL is such a cesspool at this point. But you know what? Nobody cares. It's bigger and better than ever. Nobody cares, including the three of us who are fucking sitting here. We don't give a shit. We're like, all right,
we'll be back
I
at
can,
Meanies
right.
on Sundays,
Right.
barbecue and tailgating and watching the games and betting on them.
Right. And fantasy football, it's bigger than ever, and no one cares.
Yeah,
it almost seems like this, almost, to give you a little imagery, like, you know, Roger Goodell, everyone's trying to fucking get out of a basement. Roger Goodell is like holding the basement down, but it's going to explode. Like, this league is going to explode. Like, something really bad is going to happen. It's like, you got a guy in the league who just got convicted of murder, and he's going on trial for 2 more murders. They got to be at the NFL offices like, what the fuck is going to happen next?
Yeah, another guy whose girlfriend...
You know as well as I do,
he's not a
won't make any
suspect,
difference.
but his girlfriend got murdered and she was pregnant. His ex-girlfriend gets murdered and she was pregnant.
Right.
And he doesn't get drafted.
He doesn't get drafted.
And now he just signed with the Cowboys today.
Did he really?
Yeah, he signed with the Cowboys.
I know Rex Ryan was talking to him.
3 years deal. So how do you guys feel about the Brady's agent saying it's a totally conspiracy that the Colts and the NFL are in cahoots to bring down Tom Brady?
Did he say that?
He said that today.
Really?
Yes. That's the outline facts of what he said.
What is he, fucking Hillary Clinton? He's running for president of the United States?
He might be. Tom Brady might have a chance.
That's his job.
Yeah.
It is
the agent's job?
His job is to
protect his client.
Protect his client.
Yeah.
That's like saying an attorney. It's pretty much the same thing. An attorney is defending somebody. Well, look, he's defending this guy and blah, 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 blah. That's his job.
Listen, man, there may be a conspiracy here or there when you're talking about Kennedy. When people start going to the conspiracy defense, then you know, like, wow, that's a pretty desperate thing. You know?
Oh, I agree. But that's his job. See, I'm not mad at Brady's agent.
Yeah.
That's what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, this is true.
All right, moving on. Mayweather Pacquiao.
I was right, motherfuckers. I was right about
put
that.
The bar on it.
I was right about that.
We could have had it all.
Yeah. I told, you know, I don't want to be an I told you so, because, you know, then you sound like an asshole, but it never stopped before. But when that fight got booked and, you know, all the hype around the fight, and they said, all right, we're going to charge $100, we're going to be like that. I swear to God, I said to myself, this fight should have happened, if this happened 5 years ago, it would have been a great fight. This is going to be the worst fucking fight that ever happened. You got a defensive fighter to begin with. You got Pacquiao, who's just,
over the hill,
doesn't
boxer.
really give a shit, and they're like, we can cash a payday. That, you talk about the public getting hoodwinked on something, and now they get.
Did you see the end of the fight? Mayweather hugged him and he was like, "We just made a lot of money."
Is that what he said? Yeah. We just made a lot of money.
That's what he just said.
$200 million.
$200 million. Pacquiao made $100 million.
Is that unbelievable?
Listen,
in an hour.
I'd rather be here in the backyard with you two, with my brain in my head and my life, than be Roger Mayweather, than be Floyd Mayweather. I would rather be me, because he's a fucking moron. He's the stupidest person ever. I don't even know how this fucking guy. Tyson Fury. He is the stupidest human being in the world, and that's the way he goes through his life. He's an idiot. He's a moron. Pacquiao's not really exactly a model citizen either. You got a guy, 5 domestic violence complaints against him. Served time for domestic violence.
Yep.
And we're gonna fucking shower him with money? What the fuck is going on in society? What are we doing? What are we doing? A-Rod goes around the bases, he gets this. What are we doing as a society? What are we doing? Fucking horrible.
But
ESPN, we're fucking.
I think Floyd is A-Rod. He's a sociopath. They're both really great business people because they cash in on the American public loving what they do, how they perform more than who they are as a person. A-Rod's has come back for taking all the steroids he did. Floyd's a bad person for beating up on all the women he did. But they know what the people want and they give it to them and they get paid incredible amounts of money
But
for
how
it.
do they get? Okay, so how do you fucking justify the fact that you? All right, so again, it's not just one woman; it's a few women. And now the woman, by the way, is suing him because he said, "I never hit her. I just restrained a woman who was on drugs." And she's like, "Oh fuck you! Now 20 million is going to cost you because I wasn't on drugs. You just beat me because you're a fucking."
And he's gonna be like, "Here's 25. Have a good day."
Right.
I don't care about it.
He's going to cut her a check and then it's going to go away.
Right.
How the fuck can you fucking? Honestly, I'm telling you right now. You guys may think this is bullshit. It's not. My son Matt said to me, "Dad, I want to get the fight." I go, "I'm not giving you any money for that fight." He goes, "But you know, it's a big fight, blah blah blah." I go, not that I'm the fucking parent of the year, but I was like, Matt, I go, I'm not giving money to a fucking guy who, you know, beats up women. I'm not giving. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be part of that process. And he's 16. He's looking at me like, "All right, I'll watch it at my friend's house." You know, like that's his response to it.
Right.
But I kind of had to make the point of like, why are you fucking taking money that you fucking giving it to that guy to sit there and fucking be a defensive fighter and and counterpunch? It makes no sense. Think about the whole thing. Think about the big picture of that whole thing that just went on, and think about if you spent money on that fight. Think about Bonham and fucking Bailey. You got fucking suckered by a domestic abuser. That's what happened with that fight. That's my opinion on that fight.
There's a lot of people that made a lot of money there, and
We weren't one of them.
Burger King paid $1 million to have the fucking mascot walk out with him. $1 million. To have somebody dressed up as a king walk out with him.
Yeah.
U-Bob paid $5 million to have him on his trunks.
Well, that's how we all up the Burger King. That's good for you too, okay?
Not like
It's-
Meanies is good for you.
This is a money
No,
thing.
Meanies is not good for you. This place is great. The food is really, really good. Excellent. Awesome. It's not health food. It's not healthy. You can't eat it every fucking day. Burger King, McDonald's. They
He's
want you to eat
lying.
every day.
Is that what happened to me?
You just gotta do extra. You just gotta do extra.
Listen, it's 100 times better than Burger King and McDonald's because it's made naturally, it's made fresh, it's made in
Because with these lawsuits, I might sue you.
But
This could be your fucking problem
a bacon
now.
cheeseburger and chicken wings are not health food.
Non-disclosure.
No.
Non-disclosure.
You know?
Tastes
But
good, though.
it's better than what you get out of a bag.
It tastes good.
Yeah.
Boxing is a very
Dying sport.
well, it's excuse me.
Did this put it? Did this,
I think this is their last hurrah.
I was gonna say. Did
I think
this
this is the
put
last
fucking
hurrah.
the
Well,
heart
don't
through the heart?
forget, it was baseball and boxing in this country,
Right.
okay? Because you didn't have
But I think
professional basketball and football. It was college, so those were the two. Then television started, and what happened was in the early days of television, boxing, and my brother was managing editor of Ring Magazine, talks about this all the time. Boxing was easy to show on television.
Yeah, it's a
it was
square
one
ring.
camera,
Yeah.
square ring, so that kept it going
Yeah.
for a while.
Right.
hey, Brady was in the third row of the fight. If anybody who
Yeah, no,
I'm sure he was.
sitting right next to the Under Armour owner and 3 seats away from Michael Jordan.
Right.
Yeah.
Not giving a flying shit about Deflategate.
He was saying
But-
deflate
but-
these, guys. Deflate
but-
these.
Over time, now, basketball, football, professional came along. Now, cameras and all of that stuff so we can see, baseball and basketball on TV and everything else. That's helped.
So you're saying
And plus the other fighting, whatever the hell that other crap is with
Right.
UFC.
So
UFC.
yeah, so you have a sport that's definitely on the decline.
Yeah. Oh, it's been on the decline for
I
a
think
long
it's been
time.
on the decline since the heavyweight division died down because everyone liked the heavyweight
Yeah.
division because big
But
guys knocking each other around. The middleweight and featherweight division it's not the same appeal. You have little guys beating up on each other. It's not the same as two big 250-pound guys
That's true.
going at
That's
it.
true.
Mike Tyson knocking people out.
But
in
it
a
was
minute.
kept around with Sugar Ray Leonard and Duran
No,
and
Mike,
Hagler.
stick around. Don't worry, I'm going to talk. Let these two talk, and then
And all those
I make
guys.
the good points. I'll let them fucking jabber around, and I lay in the woods.
Hey, he lets us talk once in a while.
Yeah,
It's
once in
fucking
a while,
genius.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
So,
But
Hey,
that's
Mike, you
why
gotta
I
come
think
on and
we're
talk
on
about
the
the
decline.
Deflategate. on
they-
the clothing.
anything that is we're being marketed to on a level. I probably said this in fucking episode 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But we're being marketed to on a level that is unprecedented. I mean, everything that you see computer, on your TV screen. Everything is to get you to consume something, to get you to buy something. ESPN is a vehicle to get you to buy shit or get you to go to a sport that they want you to go to. So everything is that. Boxing just hasn't been marketed well. If boxing was marketed well, if Vladimir Klitschko just had a fight at Madison Square Garden, did you hear about it? No, because it wasn't marketed well. And the problem,
I think that's why boxing's going back to they're showing fights on MVP.
But if
Don't know that you can market that right now.
If ESPN had what the fuck are you talking about? They just marketed the biggest fucking piece of
But
shit.
Mayweather and Pacquiao was something. Yes, it was past its time. But that's been something that that society been waiting for.
But
Nobody gives a fuck about Klitschko.
Floyd Mayweather has been marketed to a fucking point. How come Floyd Mayweather has made all this money in his career? Do you know a human being who gives a living fuck about Floyd Mayweather? No one. And why didn't they do this to Vladimir Klitschko? Why? Well, he's a great fighter. He's a heavyweight. How come he wasn't marketed like Mayweather?
Once you lose your appeal.
Yeah. Because he
Once you lose your appeal.
But he's married to Hayden Panettiere, the girl from...
Who is gorgeous.
I love it, but this was the fight.
It's whatever they decide to market.
A degree.
The UFC...
If there was money to be made there, Mike, they would have made it.
The UFC is marketed in an underground kind of like edgy way. If ESPN got their claws into the UFC... Then all of a sudden,
ESPN got their claws into boxing. It'd be great for boxing. But ESPN doesn't care about boxing because they know what they have. They have basketball, football, and baseball. And even baseball, they don't even market as highly as they do basketball and football now.
Do you see that fucking thing they put in the strike zone? I fucking hate ESPN.
Oh, yeah.
They put this thing in the strike zone. ESPN, you watch the game on ESPN? They got a little zone in the strike. Have you seen this, Mike? I'm like, what the fuck? Take the fucking thing. ESPN is ruining fucking sports. I'm telling you right now. They cover it and they're destroying it.
And they want to hire me. Call me.
ESPN is ruining sports because they are glorifying the horseshit aspect of sports.
Right.
Okay?
They're cannibalizing themselves. Right. They're eating themselves.
It's not a matter of the strike zone thing. That's that's annoying, but it's not a big deal.
How do you feel about replay?
In baseball?
Yes.
I like it. I think it's fine. But I like baseball.
But how far do you go, though?
Yeah, I like baseball. So to me,
But how far does it go, though?
I can saunter through a game.
But can't you see it eventually going to balls and strikes?
No. I don't know.
But what's stopping you from doing that, though?
No.
If you're taking away umpire judgment, what's stopping you from going to balls? If you're taking away a bang call at first base, what's stopping you from going like,
it'll never,
all right, that was 4 inches outside. That should have been a ball instead of a strike.
It won't, because if a ball has too much movement on it, I think it's too much for a computer to do or for a thing to say. I don't think they have the technology to do that.
All right. Andy's calling, a catcher calls for Andy to throw a outside fastball. He throws it inside right over the heart of the plate. The ump calls it a ball just because he missed so bad.
Yeah.
Do you think replay helps him in that situation?
Yeah, no, but again, I don't think that it's ever.
You think it levels out eventually?
Yeah, I think the replay is good because I do think that there are bang plays at first, and I think also I've said this for years. I think the umpires in Major League Baseball are the best officials in all professional sports. And the NBA officials are so fucking bad. It's just
hard a game to officiate.
It is, but
last night they had 65 fouls to 27 fouls.
Yeah.
In favor of the home team.
God, Dick Bavetta, he's fucking 100 years old. He looks like the Crypt Keeper. And he's fucking still calling games. Actually, I think he retired last year.
He did retire.
Yeah,
but
they're all the same. And they see something happening and they blow the whistle. They think
or they hear the crowd react and they
blow a whistle. But again, like I've seen it even on high school. But I think umpires are good, and I don't think there's anything wrong with going to it. You can speed up the game in other ways too, and I think they've done actually a decent job.
I think they have too, and I also think that the way that if you challenge a call and you win it, then you have more challenges.
Yeah.
If you miss it, you're done.
Right.
And I think that's a good idea.
Right.
And I don't think it really slows up the game that much, and I think it's a good idea to get the calls right.
Yeah, get the calls right. You know?
In baseball, because it's a very black and white thing.
Right.
And so I think it works well in baseball.
And
Well, I don't think it works well in football, to tell you the truth,
It's,
because they have some crazy crap going on in football. But I think in baseball it works very, very well.
all right, last thoughts on the first half of the MLB season so far.
Well, that's easy for me. I'm a Met fan. I've been a Met fan since long before you were born, 1967. I think that it's nice for Met fans. Not that we're going to win a championship.
You think you keep it going?
I think we're going to be pretty
Bryce Harper
good.
hit 3 home runs yesterday. Is he on the shit? Topic for next week.
Right. What I think is that it's nice to
3 home
it's
runs, 5
I
rivers.
know. It's a big deal.
by
22 years
June in the last few years, we've had nothing to root for.
Exactly.
You put it on, you think about, what this guy may be, or what about this, but you're not really
You're thinking about next year.
right. I think this year we finally have an opportunity where we're actually going to watch meaningful baseball games in July and August and maybe even September, and I think that's a nice thing. I mean, to be honest with you, the Mets don't play tonight, and I'm kind of like, shit, because I really look forward to watching.
It's our soap opera.
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
And I think
it's real.
Right, and it's real. And I really think that it's a nice thing. I think they've built enough with these young guys where
And they could compete.
that they can compete, and we actually have something to look at.
I completely agree with you. I listen, man. I love the Mets, and I love, like I said, I love baseball in general. I just love the sport. I love it because it combines intelligence, athletic ability. It gets into your head, confidence-wise. I mean, you see what McCutcheon's off to this year. He's all, great players can get off to bad starts. We talked about this with our kids, and I just love the sport. It challenges
Carlos
you
Beltran hitting
mentally.
like 100.
Yeah, it challenges you mentally, physically. It's a grind.
But he
Even
might
at that level,
but he
it's
might be
amazing.
off
Even at that level, it's
and
amazing.
I love it. And so even when the Mets were bad, there was always some guy to look at and say, hey, maybe he's going to be good. It was Harvey a couple of years ago. And then
But we were
DeGrom came out.
stretching.
Well, we were definitely stretching. Lagares. To watch, I honestly, again, not to sound corny, but I think I'm going to be like, tell my kids, like, not my grandkids, like, you have to see this guy play center field.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, honestly,
Unbelievable.
So to watch the Mets play now is just great. Are the Mets going to win a world championship? I don't know. It doesn't. But to me, if you're in it, you're there. And again, that's what's wrong. I hope I got a couple of seconds here. That's part of the reason that's wrong with the sport culture that we're in. The sport culture that we're in is, well, they didn't win. Or they didn't win a championship, or they didn't get to where they're supposed to be.
It's only one team that can win a championship.
It's only one. It's entertaining, but it's also, guys you can root for. The Mets have a team where you got a lot of guys you can root for. You got Duty, you got Lagares, you got Granderson, who is not playing that well. Granderson's fucking the classiest guy in the world. You can root for him.
He really is.
So
he
the
really
Mets,
is.
The Mets have a lot of good guys you can root for. So to me, I got SNY. I'm like, for the price that I'm paying for SNY, they're giving us a season. Baseball's been giving us a season. I like Bryce Harper doing well because it's nice in the division. You get a little bit of that.
Right.
And
breaking
it's
news,
been
A-Rod
really good.
just hit the 661st home run.
Of course he did.
Did he really? Did he really? Mike, your timing is fucking impeccable. It's impeccable. And by the way, he didn't spontaneously combust.
And we're out.
And they were quoting him like fucking crazy.
See you next week.